brilliant. As I approach the end, you can see how information comes to me and just falls away. It's really weird, which is why I think these videos are important. I try and just put them down so that I can reference them from the future. The vortex has a general direction, and so it can either be leaning backwards or leaning forwards. And what's the difference? What affects that vortex? Infinite power. It's the butterfly thinking about flapping its wings. The mechanism is so finely tuned that a positive thought gives general vector to the general turbulence, but gives an overall vector to the vector axis itself. So this is if you see the North Pole and see the vector axis, if we look to the future, the North Pole will go straight up, and just a slight, and the angle, the precessional angle will be in the planet itself. The disk of the planet will be at the 137 overall Reynolds number, arcsec and residual viscosity, but it'd be straight up. You can see the hummingbird bell painted straight up. If you put it over to 11 o'clock, the mass has to lean over the other way, the balance. This thinking about the past all the time and not learning from the past, just thinking about it and being dragged towards the past, because then you forget to remember the future. And so the flapping of the butterfly wing, the thought that things can be better. How can this be better? From this, where I am now, how can I build from this base to make things better? That thought is an evolutionary thought. When we all think it at the same time, we will get our flat planet. But you've got to believe in magic. Now you're in a story where the emperor has no clothes. In this case, who had on their bingo card, the French president's wife is his father. Now, is there some brave soul in France who would shout out from the back of the crowd, "This is his father, son père"? Yeah, imagine that. And the whole motion of the crowd, because I know in France you're not allowed to talk about it. The whole crowd just go, "Wow, weird." We don't want weird. We want nice. We want nice things. And so the motion is coming when this will all be swept away. And you need to have the engineering and the values of Christ. We all do. All take the values of Christ. All understand the Reynolds number engineering. And we can go back to who we are. So God created us in his sight. And the observation of reality is the observation of reflection. You are seeing the reflection of what you think the world is. It is a simulated hologram, but it works collectively. So if you can parasitize that power and use it against other people who live here, or you can all do it together and go collectively to win the game of life. So we're created in his sight. So he imagined us. If God could exist in reality, he would exist as the personification of the bending moments at the center of the planet. The bending moments split, and that's Vitruvian Man. So the Son of Man is the bending moment diagram of the Vitruvian stickman. And it's just that those bending moments exist at the center of the planet. So that's the image of God, and then you just join the dots up and place it inside a surface turning inside out of the 2 pi tensors, creating the third, the pi elastic. So it's just motion of pi natural and pi real, reality and potential working together to create the elasticity of pi, the elasticity of the vortex. How strong is the vortex? Strengthen the vortex by thinking about it. Concentrate on it, love it, worship it, in fact. Worship the vector axis. Because it is us, it's our consciousness, as you're about to find out. So the creatures that we are, God created them. Male and female, he created them. So we are a single sex species. When we go back to our flat planet, I don't want you to be surprised by what body you're given. I have ideas, but it's only conjecture. But just be ready for the creatures that we become, because it's our natural, that's what we're going to be. We have to accept that this is what God has chosen for us. So this is the next phase of Genesis. In his image, he's now had another idea about how this can be better. And we have to trust that he loves us and go with him. Okay, God, you've got this, my friend, you've got this. And so we'll be like hermaphroditic creatures in some way. There'll be changes, possibly in our lives. So the poor women who go through this cycle, and men just breeze through, in terms of their chassis, will all be taking part in the cycle. We share it. Men choose to share the burden of the women's cycle, of the bleed, by caring for women and placing them at the pinnacle of our society. And that we all run to the female bleed cycle. And so that's Adam and Eve. That's the Garden of Eden. So Adam chose, a creature who is what we're supposed to be, wanted to know where the children came from. He wanted to know. And so he had sex with one of the creatures, and it gave birth to a child. And he went, ah. And that was it. And that was him eating the apple of the knowledge. He then knew, oh, I see, that's where they come from. Someone has to have sex. And that's the world we live in since then, since Genesis. Old Testament, New Testament, all completed. Bible revelations, prophecies fulfilled. We're going back to the Garden of Eden. We are eternal. We will be in full control of reality, and you are going to love it. Welcome back. Welcome home. Sophia is waiting for us. Our goddess, Sophia, waits for us in the future. Her arms around us, humanity, are going to feel so fucking wonderful. That's where we're going. To the arms of our mother. Welcome home. Follow the Rebel King.